Hi, I'm Lauren Hunter, founder and editor of Church Tech Today. Welcome to today's Tech. Today we have Adam Borys with Faith Life. He's part of the Logos Pro team. Adam?
Hi, welcome. Thanks, Lauren. I'm glad to be here.
Great, we're happy to have you today. Today we're talking all about the various things that Faith Life does to encourage and enhance the church community and believers around the world. Adam, there's some really fantastic tools that you guys provide. Why don't you tell us about kind of the flagship product that kicked everything off with Faith Life, Logos Bible Software?
Sure. Well, Faith Life as a company, our mission is to use technology to equip the church to grow in the light of the Bible. So our flagship product really showcases that really well. That's Logos Bible Software. It's probably our best known brand. In fact, the company until just a few years ago was known as Logos Bible Software. So let me share my screen here and I'll give you a quick glimpse into what that looks like. So Logos Bible Software, if you haven't heard of it, is basically a tool to study the Bible, but it's so much more than that. It's more than just searching the Bible. It's a full theological library. So it's designed for pastors, it's designed for academics, and depending on what package you'll get hundreds of resources in your library, that anything from commentaries to dictionaries to exegetical tools. And when you open up the software, it not only just gives you access to those resources, but actually ties it all together so that you can find exactly the information that you're looking for any given passage, for any given word in the Bible. We have exegetical tools so you can study the original language, so that you can pull up an exact word study on any given word and see how that word might be translated in different versions of the Bible. This is really gets to the heart of what we're about as a company. We want to provide tools to the pastor, to the Bible student, that is going to make your studies easier. So a traditional pastor, what are the things that you have to do from week to week? Well, sermon prep is a huge part of it, and that means sitting down with your Bible. It means looking at different translations. It means pulling commentaries off the shelf, flipping them to the right page, and pretty soon you've got your desk covered with all of these different resources. And if you have to clear off the kitchen table because it's time for dinner, you have to pack all of that up and it's difficult to come back to later. So here we've done all of that for you. We're trying to smooth out those pain points to make it easier so that you can use your time better in your Bible study. All of your commentaries are flipped open to the right page just at the click of a button. And we even have a new tool in Logos 7 called the Sermon Editor. Again, the very idea that we want to make things easier for you. As you write your sermons, whenever you put in a header or a verse reference or a quote from one of your resources, it automatically creates this slide for you so that you can, as you're going, you don't have to spend time afterwards to create a slideshow presentation, but it does it for you. So what are the other things that you might have to focus on from week to week? If you're a pastor or you work at a church, what are those things that you have to do over and over again? Sermon prep is one of them. Preparing a slideshow is another one. Maybe looking after the contact cards, updating the website. All of these things that have to happen week after week. We're providing solutions in the software that we provide. So Logos Bible Software is the first example of that. We have a bunch of different packages available for every level. We have a new Logos Cloud subscription model. So if you're not sure that you want to own it for life, but you just want to pay as you go, that's another option that we have there today. And
yeah, isn't there a free version that I just heard about? Tell us about that.
Yes, I'm glad you asked about that. Because we want this program, it is too good just to limit to a few people who are Bible experts. We recently launched Logos Basic. And you can find that at logos.com/basic. And that is a free library that anybody can use for as long as you want.
Yeah, the option, I mean, for most of us out there who have known about Logos, but the price point maybe, I know for myself, I've been in Bible study for years and even led Bible studies and used tools like Bible Gateway and other tools out there. Let's see, Bible Hub is another one. So, to kind of put together the tools that, you use with not spending any money. But the idea of being able to get Logos, be able to use your tools as a lay leader, that's pretty exciting. So I know that there's a lot of people, either because of price or just because of where they are in their life and what they're doing, that the free version is really interesting. And I think it's also a gateway. I think it will probably benefit the business, because when people see the tools that you offer, they're going to make room in their ministry budget for tools like this. It's just unbelievable. Now, I have a question. When you showed the sermon prep tool and you had the slides that were automatically being generated there, does that then port over to Proclaim, so that if a church is using Proclaim, they can display that?
Yeah, it sure does. It has a number of export options. So if you want to use it as just a PowerPoint presentation, you can export it there. You can export it as simple images. But the best way to do that is to actually export it to Proclaim presentation software, which is our program. The great thing about Proclaim is that it's collaborative. Everything about in Proclaim is in the cloud, so that when one person on your team makes a change or adds song lyrics or announcements to the slides, those are going to show up for everybody else who's using Proclaim. So that when you send your sermon to Proclaim, it's automatically going to import that for everybody else on the team. So that when your sound tech guy shows up on Sunday morning, it's all right there. He doesn't have to worry if he has the right version. Everything is set up and ready to go. And there's one more great feature in Proclaim that I want to make sure to point out. If you can see over here, we've added these cues here that says start recording and stop recording right around the sermon slides. So that means that if we're on the last song here and the sound guy hits the button to go on to open the first sermon slide, it automatically starts recording the audio that's coming into the computer from the pastor's mic. He doesn't have to remember to start the recording. It just happens automatically. And when that's done, he can hit publish, and it'll automatically publish that to soundfaith.com. So here we have an example of a recent sermon from a church who's using Proclaim. It has pictures of the slides that they were using and the audio from Brother Richard here, who is delivering the message that day. And you can have a widget that you can embed on your website, so that on Sunday morning, it automatically records, you automatically publish it to SoundFaith, and then it automatically heads out to your website, and you can even create a podcast feed of that. All of it happens just like magic, so that you don't have to spend all day Monday or Tuesday trying to get all of those ducks lined up in a row. We've already done it for you.
Well, that's great. I mean, that sounds fantastic, especially for, maybe even small churches or church plants who are just getting going, to be able to utilize tools that are already integrated together. I know that's a big deal. And for a long time, a lot of church management companies, we're talking about integrated solutions, and you've done it kind of on a different plane, because it's Bible study software and really the service and the sermon prep. So that's pretty exciting. Tell me about the church deal that you mentioned to me. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so this is another example of integration. I mean, integration is really what we're focusing on, is we want to deliver all of these services as one kind of package. And the church deal with Logos Mobile Education and Faithlife TV is another example of that. So if you don't know, we have a website, faithlife.com is our social network, where you can create a group for your church And you can use it to send email newsletters. You can use it to post events. You can use it to keep connected with the members in the church. And when you purchase this limited time offer for the Logos Mobile Education and Faith Life TV, you can purchase it for your entire church. So everyone who is a member of your group can go on to faithlifetv.com, get all the access to the premium content that we have available through the streaming video service, as well as Logos Mobile Education, which are scholars that we have invited from all over the world to deliver their lectures here in our studios. We record that, and we can deliver that to you, the entire congregation, on their TV at home.
Great. Well, it's been really great to talk to you, Adam. Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to share? Or did we cover, it seems like we covered a lot of ground today, which is exciting.
We have covered a lot of ground, and I want you to think through, if you work at a church, what are the other pain points that you have throughout the week? Is it updating the website? Is it, what are those things that you do from day to day, from week to week? And we've got some exciting new things that we're coming out with later this year. I can't talk about them yet, but we're going to be addressing some of those other things there as well.
Oh, well, great. Well, we'll look forward to that, and maybe we'll circle back up and do another video to share with Church Tech Today readers. I did want to mention, too, that over the last year, one of our top reviewers and writers, Kevin Purcell, he runs his own podcast called Theotech Podcast that covers technology in the church, but he's been a Logos Power user for a long, long time. So he did a very intensive review of Logos 7, and he also did a review of the latest Proclaim software. Actually, I take that back. Paul Clifford might have done the Proclaim review. But anyway, we have a great team of writers who are not just writers. Kevin's a pastor. Paul's been a pastor before, and a tech guy. And we just have a lot of really great people and a part of our community who value your products a lot and are really grateful for the impact that it's made for them, and then being able to write about them and share with others. We appreciate your vision and consider you a partner in ministry, and we thank you for your time, Adam. Have a great day.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for having me.